It's a horrible thing about like reading sci-fi and fantasy novels is that
Yeah,
like
you read so many words and don't know.
and like there's just so many made up words there that you have to like make up your own pronunciation for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be about that, but it can be about other things too.
What, King Kong?
King Kong.
So it's not just about the slaves.
No, it's not just about the slaves.
And it's not just about a giant gorilla.
No, it's not just about a giant gorilla.
Like how it was banned in Nazi Germany.
It was.
Yeah, something about the threat to the Aryan woman or something like that.
Could be that too, Scott, but it gets related to race way too much.
Okay, so it's not about race.
Not to me, it's not.
Oh, but it is about you then, Ren. What about the director?
Cooper.
Okay, Cooper. What he intended, or the scriptwriter?
I don't know who wrote it.
You don't know. You don't know. Well, what about what they intended? Which probably was just about a giant ape.
Gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla is an ape.
Whatever.
Okay, whatever about what it is.
An author can write about anything, but in writing, it might spill out more than they realise. They might sit down to write about a giant gorilla, but what the author thinks and feels in relation to it will reveal a lot.
Okay, so postmodernism.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope there, and I don't want to devolve into wankery. But I guess you could call it that.
Alright then, well, what do you call a story about a giant gorilla?
It's about guys. What every guy goes through. Or feels like he goes through.
Well, all of them. Or even me.
Even you, Scott. It's a male story. The story of men. Maybe not every single one of them, but it shows up in most cases. It's simple, it's metaphorical, but it's there.
Alright, well, what's it telling us?
It's hard to explain.
Try.
It's the story of feelings. To retell it, I'd have to use another metaphor. To try to imagine King Kong as the personality of a kid. A street kid, maybe. Someone whose home situation is bad, parents not around.
Yeah, okay, go on.
He's young, but he's tough. The toughest kid on his block. The urban jungle. And he's king of it.
Okay.
One day, some more civilized people enter his territory.
Whoa. What about the natives?
I don't know. I guess you could say there are other kids in the street, but they're not as tough.
So is he a bully?
I don't think so. It'd be like the morals are different. The law of the jungle. It's a bit feral. He'd maybe hurt some people, but just because he had to.
Okay, and these civilized people, who are they?
I don't know. It's not a one-to-one analogy. It's the broader strokes that count.
But they ended up there.
Yeah, and they brought her with them.
Ah, her.
Yes, every man has a her. I'm sure we can both agree on that.
What about gay dudes?
Well, a him then. It could still apply. I'm not sure. But it'll be easy to keep my train of thought to stick with her, for now. Every man's her.
So not just the ones they marry, right?
Well, in this case, it's even less likely to be the one they marry. It's more the first her. To most guys, she's the her.
And he's a virgin.
Well, I picture him about 13, 14, and her 11, 12. Paint your own picture. I'm not your pedopornographer. But to me, that's not so important. It's like the last innocent age he could be.
Well, he's still innocent. A tough and street kid.
He's been broken and toughened up, but 13 is still 13, and he's still a kid.
Okay, so well, there's no older kids around.
I don't know. There's those who are at least as tough. The dinosaurs.
And these dinosaurs, they're his equals.
I'd hesitate to say equals. Obviously he beats them, but he has a reason.
Her, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they don't care about her the way he does. They're dinosaurs. To them, she's a piece of meat. They don't relate to her as anything more.
Right, so is this like that mammal theory of yours?
Yeah, because we're mammals. We can relate to each other. Intuitively. I mean, if a dog looks mean, you know not to fuck with it. If a cat's hair stand up, you know it's scared. We work from very common principles. Physiologically speaking, anyway.
Yeah, well, what about all the other kingdoms?
But how can you tell if a lizard is happy or angry? Or what a smart as a 3-year-old parrot thinks? If a spider wants a friend?
I'm sure there are signs.
Oh, there'd be signs, but you can't just figure it out like with mammals.
Boy relates to the girl. And even though she doesn't really do anything except get rescued, yeah? I'm sure the feminists would be real pleased.
The movie was made in the 30s. The PC police weren't around to blow their whistles and wave fingers in your face back then.
So she has no personality.
She could easily have a personality, but what did I tell you? It's from the male perspective. It's not that women having a personality don't matter. It's just that it doesn't matter to this particular story.
Right, so you fill in the blanks with your own her.
It's just a Madonna whore complex.
I'd avoid the label if I could. I'm not a massive Freud fan. More of a Jung man myself.
You like young men.
You're just getting sidetracked now. Where were we?
The other kids are dinosaurs who see her as a piece of meat. And so I'm guessing next is when he snaps the T-Rex's jaw to save her, yeah?
Yeah, fine. So she has a crush on him and he thinks she's pretty.
And wins her heart. Is it love at first sight?
If that's the hand that rocks your cradle, but not important. It is what it is, and he's captivated. That's how he's captured, taken back to civilization.
Which is?
Getting adopted, going to school, living in a house, whatever. What matters is he's there because of her, and he's chained up. Chained up by all these rules, all these ways he's supposed to act and be a gentleman, but he doesn't fit in, as hard as he tries.
And the flashbulbs.
Yeah, well, something sets him off. And then there's the rampage, blood, you name it. But he goes after the one thing that makes sense to him.
Let me guess. Her?
Well, he doesn't know why. Like I said, at 13 he has all these strange new feelings and such, but nothing's like how it was. This new adult world doesn't make sense.
So it's a teen rebellion?
It could be that. He's rebelling, upsetting all the grown-ups and goes after her.
So he kidnaps the girl, climbs something tall, and then gets killed, right?
I told you, this wasn't an analogy. The kid isn't Kong.
He isn't?
King Kong is the animal inside of him. The beast. It's because of her that the beast is slain.
Sounds like the woman you marry.
It doesn't matter. It could represent one or many. It's the feelings that matter, how they apply to you.
So the becoming of a man?
Yeah, but it's boring to say that King Kong is the journey to manhood.
And the movie has all this in it, yeah?
Well, I have all that in me.
Yeah, we're talking about a movie here.
Yeah, but what is a movie?
What do you mean? Does it have to be filmed?
Anything can count. On a basic level, all it is just lights projected on a screen and noise coming out of a speaker or two. It's what our brains interpret those noise and sounds, lights, as to what's really important.
Oh, okay. Well, what about the creators?
Well, it's communication. It's what they're communicating to us. It's like a language.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, shouldn't we get what they're saying directly? Like, as if it was a sentence?
Well, even words have more than one meaning. It's what your brain interprets as to what's important.
I think I get it. So that's what you get when you watch King Kong. That's your story of it.
Yeah, but what you think I'm thinking, that's your story too.
Huh?
Well, you just imagine that whole scenario with the boy, right?
Yeah, because you told me to.
Yeah, but I never really mentioned anything specific. Like, did you name him? Did you have at least an idea of what he wore, what she looked like? Did you change their ages in your brain?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, all those questions you interrupted me with. Whatever my answer was, it might have helped you clarify that those details were yours.
So, you just told me the story of a movie that's all in my head.
Yeah, it might not make sense, but does it feel right?
Guess I can admit that.
And now it's your story now too. We all carry these stories around about our lives, and they can come up in all sorts of places, even in other people's stories.
I guess we did devolve into wankery after all, huh?